And I managed to get lucky on my rolls and convince them that they really needed to see if this was, her divine will or not.
Mm-hmm.
Before, what's his name? Who was my adversary in that? Is that Arcelius? No, Pellus. Before Pellus could basically have them, dissect me or something, or otherwise just take over. And I had met a couple council members beforehand. Didn't really have anything super positive with either one of them in terms of getting them on my side. Came back to the bar, everyone was antsy, a lot of, anti-demon, talk. And then I finally convinced the proprietor to tell me what he already knew, that there was, 8 on who'd gone plane hopping down to the dungeon.
Okay, and then Nastya?
Nastya tried to keep low most of the session, and then the proprietor was like, Nastya, I'm like 10,000 years old, you cannot outweigh me. And so then she had a talk with the proprietor, she got grounded, and then Wrath was like, yo, I need to go down into the dungeon because my ex is there and they've gone missing. So the proprietor was like, oh yeah, take Nastya with you, it'll be a good team building exercise.
I thought I was grounded from the dungeon. No, go.
No.
Okay.
This one time, then come back here around.
Yeah, you're being supervised, it's fine.
Okay, so we've had, is it like the next day you two are going, or were you going immediately?
It would probably be the next day.
Okay. Anything in particular either of you are doing to prep for going down?
I would, let's see. I just taken...
Oh, wait, shush.
I mean, I of course want to research, the area or the path of that, the surroundings of that area in my tome before we go down. I don't know if that actually does anything mechanically other than just doing it.
It'll partly give you some stuff for like be able to roll a d6 or to add use a plot point to add to it. But since you have been down there before, do you want to tell me a couple of the things that were sort of in the area where you got into that struggle with the beholder that took your...
There was a series of traps, in order to get to like the beholder's domain, which was like, an entire level of the dungeon. And then I'll leave it to you to detail out whatever kind of horrible traps there are. And then after you get through the traps, his servants were primarily, let's see, the brutes were gnolls, and then find something intelligent to lead them, because that's not gnolls.
Jeff led them.
Jeff.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
And they sort of handled, sort of like the frontline security of, of things. The area itself was, I will say, lots of, beholders can fly. They don't necessarily care about their, their subordinates. So, I would say it was like very much like a chasm, with stuff on the sides of the, rock face, where, things lived.
Like those Lord of the Rings really narrow steps with no...
Yeah, no rail, 'cause, I mean, they're gnolls,
like a lot of people had to die coming down here. Yeah,
lots
we
of,
don't care.
weird bridges and, whatnot.
Okay, yes, you're kind of going back through the stuff that you remember from that. So depending when Adon went through, you're not sure how many of the traps might have been like reset by now.
Okay.
So only you have the knolls and such. So you might run into some that are not fully reset. Sometimes it sort of depends on how much damage a group does going through before things are sort of reset and put back in order on the way down. Yeah, and then Astaya?
What? Ref, what level? Like, would you say this was like a hard level path that the?
Oh yes.
Path
Yeah, it was a hard level path. Like this was something that, you know, if you were going in as a group, you would, you know, encounter lots of trouble. Going in just a couple people, you might be able to sneak around a lot of it. But definitely, you know, expect opposition.
So Nastya is packing several packed lunches. And there's only
Do
two
her food
of
prep.
them, but 3 packed lunches. Actually, no, she makes 4. She gives Wrath one and prepares and keeps the other 3 herself. And she thinks about where they're going, and so she goes down it like into the her den, like where the where is it? It comes out with a fucking like giant fucking warhammer that she of her size should not be able to carry, but she is. It's like, cool, I'm ready.
Okay. And
I just recalled what the mechanical effect was, which is I put a trigger on my tome that if I've researched anything, I can act on that knowledge to reroll my entire pool with a plot point.
cool.
Which was from, I think, Precognition originally.
Got that stuff ready to sort of go. Proprietor, are you going with, or are you seeing them off?
Well, I'll probably see them off, I guess. I mean, like, I still got a shop to run. Unless, of course, it's just us 3, then I might as well go with them. Otherwise, I'll be on my own the entire game.
Well, Pat's not sort of with us yet, and also it would be kind of cool with Pat's stuff if Samrio is put in a position where he can't rely on one of you who are a little more experienced in those to have to kind of go forward. So if the 3 of you are going down, that puts us in a place to kind of push Samrio into being a little more active.
Okay. In that case, as they come up by the entrance, I'm sitting there. I'm still wearing my work apron. But, like, I'm basically standing. I'm not actually holding any weapons because I make my weapons when I go down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sitting there, my arms folded.
Joining us, Proprietor?
Well, it's been a while since I went down those depths. I need to make sure that the place is at least clean enough so I don't have to worry about someone else having to mess it up. After all, I can't rely on other people to ensure it's well kept, can I, stepdaughter?
Does this mean I can stay here?
No.
God damn it.
All right.
Proprietor, you would know. You're a denizen of the dungeon. You took over after the Beholder cleared out. Well, sorry, after the Beholder disappeared with the rest of, well, everything around me.
Well, that's not actually meant to be negotiated by me. They usually have a union for all the monsters down there and they figure this out. I am just taking care of the entrance at the moment. But I'm sure if they did put it into the heart of someone else, I'm sure we can find out when we get down there.
Thank you for the Monster Union. That can be awesome. We're here to fight. Well, see, right now we're on a strike, so we can't,
Guys, get back
we
to
can't
work.
technically fight. We got those goblins who are trying to be scabs and come through, but we were like, we're stopping the lines.
We have to close down the dungeon entrance because everyone's on strike, and it would just be free looting, you know.
I'm like, oh, guys, please, just get back to work. What do you want from me? More hours off. And more damsels in distress. I can't bring any more. It's totally against the rules up here. Oh, God. But I said we go down and find out.
Okay. This will be interesting.
Okay.
True, I don't think I've ever actually had to use this as a punter before. Let's see how good it. We'll call it a spot inspection. Let's see how good they do. Come along.
You're doing well. You're doing well. I think that's fantastic. You need some work.
I'm warily wearing my purple armor that, just seems heavier than it, used to be, mainly because I'm out of shape.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the dungeon entrance itself, you've got the first sort of it's the rooms that like the people who've never done there before kind of will shit themselves in, but they're essentially just there to kind of be a little bit scary before things actually start to like break off into some of the various ways to go. Are there I don't know if probably like signs and such sort of warning like what places are like what's sort of the Bunny Hill and what is like the Black Diamond, the more dangerous path, and that's the one you're sort of going down. Now the weird thing is not being in like Adon apparently not in this realm anymore. As far as you're aware, there was not another realm thing, like it didn't pass through. There may have been some bits, but it could have been difficult to tell at the time. So something may have changed down there.
I was going to say, or we created one.
True, because what happened to you is pretty rare. So the first bit of it relatively relatively easy. You've got some small, like a couple small demons. Just one of them just kind of you see him kind of like pop around the corner, kind of looks and goes, "Oh, weren't you the mini boss on level 6?"
Yes, and I'm now the proprietor who takes care of the inn at the top. How's it going, Larry?
A couple of ventures came through earlier. I've had worse. Got kicked around a little bit, but reincorporated.
Understandable. Looking good. I'm really enjoying the whole no shape up you're going for. That regime is working.
Hey, thanks. I've been on it for a couple of years. You start to see some. It's not easy at 300 to kind of get back into it.
I might tell me about it.
It sort of looks at the three of you and is just like, "Who's he?" And points at Wrath. Because you got a demon, a half demon, and then Wrath.
Well, this is my adventuring party. That's my stepdaughter. Say hi.
Hey, Larry.
And that's my partner. Say hi. We're going down to see a certain part of the Denzin. We were hoping to catch up with an old friend who went through here called Adon. Powerful sorcerer. Usually does spells like this.
I had one come through a couple days ago.
Yes.
Crap.
Did you see him come back out?
Not yet. I mean, sometimes the powerful ones either just teleport up, so I don't know if he got eaten or what.
Well, we'll be taking the same path he's taken. Anything I need to know about it before I start heading off?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You're not like one of us anymore, but you were. So, are you looking for like full on people going after you and stuff, or?
Enlighten me. If you're willing to send me up against forces I cannot control, I am more than happy to show you just exactly what I'm capable of. But if you give them perhaps maybe a short warning to maybe lighten up on the floor traps a little, maybe things will go a bit easy for both of us.
Kind of smiles a bit. It's like, listen, most people are going to kind of run into you and then think, not to bother you. But it sounds like you're adventuring?
Technically, yes.
I can spread some word if you want the full experience. You can have people start fighting. Oh, the floor traps on 6 we've not been able to get reset.
Oh, really? I'll take a look when I get down there.
Okay.
Have them more stay out of my way. We'll fix up floor 6, and if I suddenly feel the urge to pretend to be an adventurer of a sort rescuing the downs in distress, I'll let you know.
I'll send out some word. Not everyone's necessarily going to listen.
I understand, Larry. I prefer it if I do have some dissidents. I mean, after all, where would the fun be if I don't get to kill something once in a while?
Good luck to you. Kind of looks back and forth, and again, Nastya and Wrath, and then
Hey,
just
Larry.
sort of, yeah.
Is Rover around?
Uh,
That's the cube.
Rover! Is he reincorporated? Yeah, what? It's like short, dumpy kind of demon. Just come. Hey! Messiah.
I chuck him one of the lunch boxes.
Oh. And eats like the whole box. Oh, thanks, Nastya. You guys coming down and searching through?
Yeah, I might not be able to do poker next week. Just
Oh.
like nods towards the proprietor.
No, I mean, it's a friendly game. Okay. And he goes, so yeah, let's go. And then Larry's like, yeah, let's go tell some people we got some folks coming down. I'd watch out for some of the goblins and gnolls down there. They don't always necessarily listen when we tell them what to do.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
And remind, what did you call the other one, Nastya?
Rover.
Rover.
Right, I guess we'll start heading down.
Okay. So for the most part, as you're sort of heading through, especially that first level or so, you have a few people. There's most of them are kind of sort of staying out of the way, not necessarily being too much of a problem. And the heavy stuff really doesn't come up too much in the first one. And as you make your way down, you get to one place where you've got like the sort of sandstone. I don't know if you've ever been in like a cavern.
Yes.
Where it looks like it almost looks like soap in the way, because everything's sort of weirdly smooth from the water that came through it. That kind of coolness is coming down, and you kind of hear like, and then like a skittering sound, which sounds like it might be some goblins.
Ooh. I'm like, the goblins were active a bit earlier today. Well, we can do it when we come along. Let's keep moving.
I don't hear any giant footsteps, so it should be fine.
If something does come up that you may not be able to handle, it's perfectly fine for you to scream for my help.
I plan on standing behind you.
That also works.
At a safe distance, of course.
Understandable.
Okay. So as you're heading through, kind of going through, there's sort of a rickety bridge that at one point you got to kind of go over, and you see like up ahead there's the tunnel mouth on the thing, and there's a couple like goblins just kind of crawl out. They're fairly savage looking, and they've got like dented, broken weapons in their hands that have been they look fairly they've been shattered in some place, but kind of makes them sharp and jagged as they're sort of coming to. And then there's like two arrows end up falling like in front of you on the bridge, and you'll pay the toll.
All right, Nastya, you're up. Here we have a situation. What was that, darling?
She shouts across, "Would you accept a lunchbox?"
He takes a moment and just.
I turn to the proprietor. Do you accept that?
It's
As
up to
payment?
her. I mean, depends. I mean, if it's a good lunch, like, I mean, if someone pays, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you put a decent thing in there. I mean, do you have any idea how red normal cheese is in the dungeons? Like, we can't make it ourselves.
How much do you have?
She holds up one of the lunchboxes and says, "It's extra stinky."
Go ahead and make a roll. See
This
if,
cheese is like 3
see if they'll
years
take this.
Solving dungeon problems one practical use at a time.
You know, Rob was just muttering to himself, and we always just used to incinerate them.
Sandwiches, was that easy?
Who feeds the goblins? If you feed the goblins, they're going to expect it, and they're just going to be
I
coming
mean, I
around.
just assumed they ate fungus like everything else down here.
Yeah, but you don't always want to do that.
So
Yeah,
it's all about
but-
feeding the right people.
There's only so many times you can eat mushrooms before you're like, I'm really tired of mushrooms now.
God, I have no fucking clue what my values here
Yes.
You could be trying to impress your father.
are.
I mean, you are doing this in front of dear old dad.
That's true.
And myself, which, you know, I don't know if your relationship, you know, indicates that at all, but...
God, is this authority?
I think authority could work.
What is your authority?
Fuck the police. People keep telling me what to do or how I should live my life. Fuck them.
Actually, this is the opposite of that. 'Cause I
Yeah.
just told you so.
I mean, you could challenge it too. But
Yeah,
again,
just challenge
it's
it.
it's a little bit overkill, but it will give you growth.
Yeah.
Loyalty. People pick and choose who they are loyal to. I mean, loyalty for a lunchbox?
If you have to justify it, you have a problem. It's like, don't use it.
No,
That's the rule. If you're like, do I need to justify this? They're like, nope, not gonna use it. Just don't.
I mean, like challenging your authority. It'll triple it for this, and then like reduce it by 1, but also put stuff in growth. It just reduces it by 1 for the session.
Let's challenge authority. So, what do you mean it's tripling?
So what happens is when you challenge something, and like these are some things you want to start like looking for, like what can I challenge, what my person believes. So what happens is you, by challenging it, you're going against what it says on the trait. So in your case, you're doing what you're told, which is not what you want to do. you're down here, which you don't want to be, and you're kind of doing this thing. So what happens is, if you want to put maybe in parentheses that it's authority for this session will be a D6, and then add a D8 to your growth pool.
I'll highlight it.
Because then at the end of it, you can rewrite it, and it'll go back up to D8, or you can keep it at D6, or not rewrite it, keep it at D6, and something else goes up.
Okay. So, sorry. So, I've reduced it to a D6.
And then add a D8 to your growth pool.
D8 to growth pool. Really start spending this.
So you now have 3D8 for your value when you roll.
So it's 3d8. Okay. So can you challenge relationship statements as well, or?
Yes, you can.
Oh Christ.
And actually, some of the ways to, it's like one of the sort of tricks to get, and it's kind of power gaming in Smallville, but it also works to create drama, is to put your character in a place you know you want them to grow from, because you know that like, I can't trust my dad. He's awful. He's evil. We know we'll end up getting along. So part of it can be as you're challenging those things, that goes into your growth pool. You rewrite them, and then you start like building them towards the person that they're going to be.
So if I'm challenging a value, can I also challenge a relationship at the same time?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, because I am very much challenging the relationship of the proprietor, which is fuck off. You aren't my real dad. But it's a default already. So how do I reduce? What do I?
So it'll just mean that for the you won't be able to roll him for the rest of the session, but it'll give you 3d4.
Okay, so I'll highlight.
I'm sure it gives us all sorts of exciting opportunities.
Yeah, a true expert will basically burn through all of their their values through a session. Like I used to do, but I got yelled at not to do that anymore.
Well, and your character, I believe, at the time had every relationship at like D10 or D12.
That's so good.
Every fight you picked, you won.
That's so good.
Like, this is what it-
rocked
you
in
just-
and started giving people fucking conditions. Crossing around, just slapping these characters up and down.
Distinctions or abilities. Would attractive or demon come into this? I'm a demon.
Because goblins have different sense of attractive, so I mean, demon definitely can.
Demon. Okay.
I love how many d4s you're rolling.
I know, right?
So hot.
And I know the risky demon pathways, so I know my way around.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily need to use that if you don't want to, because you
I
only use
know,
it
but
twice a session.
I want to see how many dice I can roll at once.
Also
It's
remember
the first roll.
you can only use those. You can only use those twice in a session.
I know.
Also, stop using my best skills, you punk. Oh, I hate you guys. I was like, oh, I'm going to use the demon runes. And I'm like, guys, you all have a D4. I'm the one with D12. What the fuck are you doing?
Spend it. Do it.
Live on the edge.
Holy shit! You did not get any ones.
Holy shit.
That was a fucking miracle. Actual miracle. That was.
Because especially considering a lot of this is going to be like the Doom Pool will be a good stand-in for some of the generic stuff going on.
Right.
You got a 17. I have a 5 or 4 rather. Yeah, so it's like the one of them kind of crawls forward and just like still sort of like on all fours a little bit and just like reaches a hand out.
I like put the lunch box in there.
The other one kind of comes up and is like, "Give me now!" Starts like pushing them. And it's like they can't go through, and like literally picks up the cheese and is like, "Oh."
Well, that worked. Shall we?
I've only got one more
Yes.
of those left, so we better be, you know.
Nastasia. So, what did we learn from that?
Goblins like cheese.
And
She takes a moment, then frowns and just says, "I don't always have to use violence."
well, that too. And
I don't know, man. I just work here.
did you poison the cheese?
I totally could have poisoned the cheese.
Yes. You don't have to use violence. You can put them other ways. Oh,
God damn it.
I am never going to make a boss out of you at this rate.
It's hard to poison goblins.
Let's get moving.
Okay. Sort of start to head a little bit further down. I'll probably do a couple quick flashbacks in this one in general, just to sort of also see what Proprietor and Wrath used to be like, and also Nastasia, since you used to work in the dungeons. We can kind of get some stuff on there. So Wrath, when you were going down the first time, what was your goal? The time that you lost your magic.
I think the goal was. Let me think. What would be a good? We had heard that beyond the Beholder's Lair, there was an artifact. Oh, let's see. I forget my list of artifacts. It's been so long.
1,000 artifacts you would find at the end of a very hard boss dungeon. Go.
It was the Rod of 7 Parts was down there. No, that's not very powerful.
The Rod of 8 Parts.
It's a bitch to get back together. Fucking, I gotta screw this whole thing in and then. Oh my god, who made this?
No, Rod of 7 Parts it was complicated.
Okay.
Um,
And was Adon with you when you went down on that one?
he was not.
Okay.
We generally didn't adventure together because he was off doing clericy things, and that was sort of my thing. That was, quote unquote, my hobby.
Okay. So we'll actually cut before you sort of went down. What is the... Okay, so the Rod of 7 Parts just has a whole bunch of powers associated with it. Because I kind of remember having seen a thing, Wikipedia kind of came up, that just like, it gives you more powers. Are there particular things with the Rod of 7 Parts? Or is it one of those that are not particularly well
I don't remember
explained?
being intelligent. Or what do you mean by, is there any mythos around it?
Or like the it's not like powers and stuff. It looks like 2 parts fly at will, 3 parts magic resistance, control winds, shape change, wind walk, restoration. Looks like.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
also,
it
like,
does all
cure-
sorts of things.
Cure Light Wounds, Slow Haste, Gust of Wind. Yeah, it gives you a bunch of stuff. So when you were heading down, kind of getting ready to go, Adon approaches. Wrath, this is probably not a good time to go.
Why? It's sort of the low season for adventurers. We're not likely to run into much trouble from fellow seekers.
It's the low season, but I mean, currently I've got so much happening at work, and I worry about you when you go down there. Like, you're powerful and such, but you like to delve maybe deeper than you should.
We've already had Mandrea scouting. She understands the terrain. I don't expect anything too difficult with this. Sure, there's the Beholder, but we've made preparations.
Preparations for a Beholder. And
Yes. I mean, you didn't read the research I had prepared? What do you think I've been doing for the past, 2 months? Between the research, between, seeking out, protection amulets.
because you've done your research, you've done all the stuff, but this is happening during one of the high meetings of all of the councils.
When have I ever needed to call you?
At that point,
You don't trust in my abilities?
Why is it?
I'm one of the greatest war wizards in this region.
Shit, he was just going to try to push you, and I hit clear. Clear actually worked for once. Like, you know how clear never works?
There are times it does not work, yes.
Yeah. Do that. He goes, and why is... Oh, that did not roll all of them. Roll. There's a 12 with the D4 effect. And why is it you never come to me for those when we're going down there? It's always other people. You've chosen a bad time to get away. Like, I would prefer if you, just until this meeting is done, so I'm not sitting there worried about it, and also trying to make sure that the council doesn't come apart.
And you don't need to worry about it. The reason I go to other people is because I work with seasoned adventurers. Your life has been more quiet. Sure, you've run into issues, fighting down, running down things for Mystara, but, you didn't grow up, looting tombs and, going through, abandoned ruins. The people I go with have. Plus, our main cleric, healing deity, I don't know how much more safe you can be with someone that could, resurrect people if needed. That just doesn't... That's not Mystara's thing. So let me see what my role is. I will go with... I think I'm doing attention. My experience is command respect. Can I challenge this in a flashback?
Yeah, this will be those things will come because it's like the memory is going through while you're heading down. So,
I'm going to challenge that because normally it's I will go to any length to regain its love, and in reality here I'm basically saying let me do my thing, you can do your thing. And then I will use my genius because he really needs to remember that I'm smart. I've done this before. Sorry, I lost the table.
okay, go ahead, grab a plot point.
beat me.
Yeah, so it just gives you this sort of a cold look. I go ahead and take I think that would be more exhausted or.
Oh, wait a second!
Insecure.
I didn't roll 2 of my 2d8s for my challenge. Not that I don't mind the stress, but I should at least roll the other 2 dice. So it still wasn't enough, but actually it was a 12, but that doesn't beat the original number.
All right. So that make more sense for you? For do you think exhausted or insecure? A fight you're tired of having, or is it just one of those like you're having to go and you know that he's pissed? He's got this other stuff.
Yeah, he's pissed because he doesn't want to be distracted. So I'm gonna go with insecure, because part of me is thinking, I should stay and keep track of him, or make sure that he's situated in his work.
Yeah,
and it just so happens like this was just the day people were in town, so we just decided we didn't want to wait, and we just wanted to go down.
Okay, so I'd say go ahead and take a D4 in that. There we go. And so that was probably the last time you spoke to him while you still had kind of all your abilities and powers. As you head beyond the bridge, down past the little goblin, you can hear the goblin sort of fighting back behind you over the lunchbox that Nastya gave. And then you head further down. Samrio.
Yeah, I'm late, but I'm here.
That's all good. We know, I think we ended this last time with someone telling you that Wrath and Arcesius were missing.
Yes.
You mean Ronan or Wrath?
Oh, Ronan. Sorry. Arcesius. This is the problem when you use those sorts of names. So we can actually have that sort of shortly after the three of them have gone into the dungeon, looking in after Adon. You're at the bar, sort of tending it, and then Kindy rushes in. And because it's been a couple weeks, remind me. Kindy thinks Arcesius is your cousin.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
That's the lie.
Yeah. So Kindy rushes in, and she just, Sam. Wrath and Arcesius went out last night, and they're not back.
Yeah, you mean Ronan, right?
Ronan. God damn it. Ronan.
The other R person.
Yes. Write that someplace to remind myself. Big old caps. Ronan.
What do you mean? Did they say where they were going?
Ronan was taking him out to have a drink, show him a little bit of the town here in this area. And, by the time we crash, I figure they're still out. I mean, Ronan's not a kid. He's dumb sometimes.
But where would Ronan go to have a drink?
And
I mean, I know when he was playing in the band, he would go to different places, but I don't know where he would go to have a drink. Just chill out besides here.
You know where I think he should have been going? He should have been coming here, but you know what makes it difficult for him to come here?
Don't say me.
Yes, Samrio, you. Because the two of you fought, he's trying to get his stuff back together, and he's afraid to come in here. And if you'd had more... God damn, I'm rolling ones. I got another one if someone wants to buy that off, but... I have a 6, which is a D4 effect die.
It's not me. We're not fighting. It's just... I saved his ass. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Did you ever tell her what actually happened?
No, she doesn't. She has no clue. So he should be coming in here and thanking me every day. Do I need to roll for this?
Yeah, if you want to, because she's trying to put the pressure on you. I would roll a 6, so that's not going to work.
Definitely love. That's a D10, D12 for her, and roll a D8 for home, and a D6 for likable. She married me after all. All right, so D10. Is that a D10? Yeah, 1D10. D12, D6, and a D8 for home. I got a lot of 4s.
Okay, I mean, you got at least you've got an 8.
Yeah, I got an 8, and then what, a 2 effect die,
Okay.
or D. What is that? D12.
Yeah, and so she's since you have met, she's going to try, or you beat it. You're up at 8. She's going to see if she can escalate, which with a 10, she's able to. And she goes, and that's the problem. You think he should come in here and thank you. It's hard for him to get over it if you don't actually forgive him when he's trying to do things correctly. He looks up to you. He loves the things that happens here, and you're now lording it over him, and then your cousin comes in? Of course he's going to end up doing something stupid.
My cousin has nothing to do with this. This is between me and Ronan. And look, he's a teenager. He has, hormones are raging and a lot of confusing thoughts. And I think he doesn't know where he's at yet. And that's understandable because that happened to all of us. But he's got to learn, through the school of hard knocks.
And there's a somewhat decent chance, unless you've switched something, if you're using just the same dice, you can just kind of press up, and then it'll roll again.
Okay.
Or of course you were.
No, it doesn't look like I beat it. I got a 9.
Okay. So yeah, then she just kind of stares at you at that point, and she goes, "You need to find our son. Take a D8 insecure."
Okay.
I know you just got back. Can we take like a quick minute for like a bio break?
Yeah, that's fine.
And then also want to double check time wise. Are we going till 1?
I'm good to go later. I don't have any other game today, so.
Yeah, I can do whatever.
Okay. All right. Take a quick bio break and we'll be right back.
Okay.
So how'd your games go the other day, Pat?
Yeah, we did a playtest to David's game yesterday. That's gonna be in the next codex. It's pretty good. It's pretty fun. It's a Final Girl hack with the gladiator theme. Yeah, it was pretty fun. It's got a few rules need a bit ironing out, but I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Nice. Not enough gladiator stuff.
Yeah, there's barely like anything in that setting as far as tabletop games or tabletop role playing games.
That was one thing that, what was it? Dark Sun kind of leaned into.
Yeah, it's like you play gladiators and like the mechanics part determines like who dies in the arena and all that, but like there's a cool mechanic in there, like if you survive that arena match, you get a flashback like of your life before you became a gladiator or how you became a gladiator. So you get kind of like attached to the characters because they all pretty much have tragic stories in the most part. Doing the old Zoom shuffle as everybody turns their cameras back on. So thinking about this current situation, can I try to roll again to beat her 10?
Didn't you rolled underneath hers? Yeah. So yeah, on that one, because since you had rolled and not failed to get it, that's how that's where you get the stress from. Okay. That's one where the conflict can then continue. Like you've taken a certain amount of stress, it can continue. But at this point, she's kind of told you need to find your son. You can keep arguing with her if you wish.
No, I'll just take the stress and be like, okay.
I guess I lost. Okay, well the rest of the people are coming back. Keep switching. What do you do?
Yeah, I just pretty much okay. So Nastaya's not here. She's down in the dungeon, right?
Yep.
What about the proprietor? Where's the proprietor at?
Also the dungeon.
So I'll be like, Candy, I can't just lead the bar by itself, I mean, if I just left, then, everybody just be back here behind the bar, just, drink it up. Probably get fired for that. Not that I think the proprietor would ever fire me.
I go ahead and make that roll. I don't know how well that's going to go over.
I guess, yeah, loyalty, I'm still using hers. I'm going to switch to Not Born Yesterday. And I'll use a Demon's Ruin in if it's still available.
Mm-hmm.
That is an 11.
Well, shit. Yeah, at that point, she just has a 10 against it, but then you put 11 with like a whatever stress you sort of give her on that one, and she just actually, what level stress did you want to give her?
I don't want to give her that much stress. I mean, she's just worried about our son. So what is that? A D12 or a D8
or a D4?
Or a D4. I'll just give her the D4 for right now.
Okay. So yeah, she just. So you want me to go find him?
You don't have to go looking for him.
Scala? Yeah. Can you watch the bar? And she kind of pokes her head out. Sanrio's there. And your wife just sort of looks at you.
You want me to leave Scala in charge of the bar? Scala? I'd much rather have Nastya here, but Scala? Scala knows nothing about running this place.
Samrio, your son is missing.
Scala! Come here.
Yeah, and she walks over and she's just like, and looking at kind of both the two of you, it's like, how are things?
Don't ask. Think you can cover me for maybe an hour?
Sure.
Look. Don't tell your dad, okay?
I won't. Be fine.
Alright. Hopefully I'll be back before he gets back.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll take off to go search for Ronan.
All right. So, you got to head out to see what you are going to be able to find. Down in the dungeon, you've gone through. There's been a couple traps here and there. You've been mostly sort of left alone, partly because even if those first couple levels, you got the big ass demon and a half demon kind of coming through. I don't know if Wrath, it feels a little bit weird not like having the abilities to do what you would normally do here.
Summon a light.
Yep.
Protect myself. Yeah, it feels a little weird. And the lightning bolt, flew out of the one trap, and I like cowered in the corner for a second because I knew I would just be, incinerated. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you're headed through, and you go in one place, goes down some steps, and it comes into this fairly kind of largest cave, and there's something kind of stirring in the corner as you come in. It almost looked like it may have been asleep or something. It may have heard something on the way up. Very tall, kind of gangly and spindly, and hands themselves would sort of end in sort of wicked claws. This is not something you've necessarily seen before. Any of you must be something new. It doesn't seem to be a demon, but something else. And it looks at you and goes, I am the guardian of this place. You are not to be here.
I look at the proprietor.
I'm like, hello. I do apologize for just passing through. I don't think I've introduced myself. I'm the proprietor.
And I am the guardian. You will pass back, or you will discover what happens. And you see, like, there's a couple piles of bones towards the back of the cave.
I'm gonna sort of lean in and go, I do apologize. I will repeat myself one more time. We are just passing through. We are going to investigate something, and then we'll be out of your hair. Absolutely no need for violence.
At which point, and at which point, it kind of just like, you see it kind of start to blur and like step out onto either side. Everybody take a plot point.
Ooh.
There are now 3 of the Guardian.
Do we start with 1 or 2?
I'll start with 2.
Where is my pictures? Where are my plot points?
Let's see if I can make a genius roll to know if I've read anything about this or know what this type of creature might be.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the full pool. Oh shit, 15. Now I don't roll ones. Yes.
Boom.
Really? Let's see. I'm gonna say authority and my own boss. I should know how to handle this kind of creature.
I have plot points somewhere. Where did I put it?
We will go with Nastya. I'm supposed to take care of her since I got her older employer killed, and then I'm a genius. D6. No way I'm going to beat this roll, but let's roll it.
Just roll high.
Exactly.
Just tell your dice. Listen, dice.
Oh,
Like that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, these sorts of guardians are fairly rare. They are usually summoned in by things, and as far as in the dungeon, a guardian like this will probably be summoned in if something kind of badass came through, and they're expecting you to come back or something else, which means perhaps
Adon came through and cleared out whatever was guardian before.
Ah.
so brought in something else. The thing with these is, you know, that the original is pretty powerful, but when it splits, each of the sort of duplicates it creates only gets sort of one of its abilities. You know, it's got like a fire breath. It's to be very hard to harm, very strong. So this thing is not going. The two of them that are not
Are the claws poisoned too?
the claws themselves are not poisoned, but they are
Oh.
claws.
They are claws.
So I turn to Natasha. All right, excellent. First physical test. 3 months. 1 monster split to 3. What do you do?
She just like looks at her hammer, and then at the proprietor, and then at the three of them.
Well,
I mean, just because there's 3 of them doesn't mean they're not squishable.
that's 1. Well, here's your first test. Do you mind giving a help for this one? I say as I look over to Wrath. I don't believe I've encountered one of these before, so I don't really know much about it. Any information we need to know?
Should have fire breath.
Mhm.
Only. It's probably likely only one of them. The main keeps the most of the, or has most of the abilities, but when they split, their powers split as well.
Right. My advice would be go in for the middle, go straight for the attack when the 2 come from the side. You do a feet backflip to get out the way. The flames or powers will hit each other. They will know what powers each one of them has. Form them on you. Make up your mind and figure out how you need to do to get to it. Come on. Get to it. Get on.
My plan was much simpler. Nastya
Oh.
takes 1, you take 2. I wait.
Wrath. I can take all 3. I'm not going to do it right now. The side needs to practice. Come on, you sneak into the dungeon I don't ask you to. I want to see this amazing skill that everyone's so proud of. I saw you kick a guy through. I heard a guy kick a guy through a window to the other building. Let's see what you've got.
So Nastya is like pointing at each one in turn, being like, maybe you, which one do I want? And then you have like the proprietor being like, oh, I heard you had all these great powers. What you do? Why? Like, and she's just like gritting her teeth slightly, and she's just gonna pick one. And I'm going to use my ability, super strength, throw and knock another character out of the scene. Just fucking hit one so hard they disappear.
Okay. Okay. I guess you spent a plot point on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go left, right, or center?
Let's go with the one in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there's the point that goes as it comes up, it starts to like almost blur a little bit as it moves faster, and you just able just punt, and it just goes like through the tunnel, through the other tunnel mouth, and then you kind of hear like a like it's falling down something, and the other 2 just sort of look at each other, just and then rush in. So at this point, is Wrath just sort of staying small?
He is trying to stay small. He's trying to use like his knowledge of previous fights to keep the proprietor between him and the opponents.
Okay. So we'll say the one that comes after the larger, which would be the proprietor. It kind of as it rushes in, and it goes for like there's a kind of a surprising amount of power behind the punch, as it and sort of comes at you. Let me make sure I've got values, relationship with the thing, that, and that did not roll one of the d10s. I have a problem with that. And then I'll also roll for what's coming at. It'll be a little bit different. What's coming at Nastya. And so the one for Nastya, as it's coming through, the claws are out.
Any little baby claws? Just...
Yeah. Oh, it should be. Sorry.
Wait, I have... Oh god. So I
Nice
have
roll.
a D6 injured, if that count.
Oh, they actually that would roll.
And I have
What's that
D4
rule at
injured.
8?
Oh shit.
Oh
Well,
god.
so yeah, it's an 8 with a D8 effect die, and then you've got a 12 against a proprietor.
So my limit, right? As he goes for the swing, I'm not actually going to move. I'm just going to stand exactly where I am, and it's gonna swing right into me with that punch, and it's gonna go boing. I'm gonna go like, please stop this. The target's over there. I'm gonna roll. Let's see if I can actually manage to do that with my roll, because I don't know what I'm gonna get. Oh, I'm good.
Okay, so if you want to go ahead and put yours out there, because it does do the back and forth.
Mm-hmm. I'll put mine out for my totem effects.
So I'm rolling D6. And then I guess I'm rolling with. Actually, I'm challenging my Wrath thing. because
Yeah!
Wrath is a creepy old man. A creepy old has-been. Couldn't afford me. Actually, wait. Wrath is a creepy old man who isn't going to kill me too. Is this acting like I'm not gonna let this guy like get me killed? Therefore, I'm kicking the shit out of this thing coming at me.
That's like particularly like he should be able to help. He's not. You're here because of him.
Yeah. So is that challenging or is that actually pretty in line?
Well, it depends. Are you trying to protect me or something? You know, like something outside of your stated relationship?
Well, I'm here because of you, and I'm in danger, and I'm not gonna let you fucking kill me as well. Everyone else.
Oh, like get you killed.
Yeah.
No, I would say you're probably just using that statement.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like. And unless you're looking at like maybe there's a reason to like if you still think he's a creepy old has-been who isn't going to kill me too, or if you're starting to kind of come around on maybe protecting him, that would be a bit different.
Cool. I don't actually have much of the roll, so this is gonna be fun. 5, 6, 7. Fuck. Can I roll anything else, or is this it? Can I spend plot points to roll anything else?
The plot points on these ones, let me double check. They have to be spent before
Yeah, that's
you actually do the roll. So, nope. On this one, you're likely going to.
God damn it.
So by the way, take another
Oh yeah.
take another plot point. Use that to raise up one of those.
Can I just punt one of them out as well with super strength again?
We sort of like another action thing. Yeah, so you've got a total of 7 against their 8. Go ahead and take a D8 injured. Wait, what? Did you already have injured?
Yeah, it's D6 right now.
Tell me, instead of injured, go ahead as it kind of hits you. It doesn't do like a lot of physical damage, but like it's been a while since you've been hit that hard. Go ahead and take D8 afraid.
Afraid. Okay.
Yeah, so Lloyd, as it bounced off of yours,
Yep.
yours once it gets and then tries to double down and sort of strike again, which got an 8, quite a bit less
Oh.
this time.
Wow, that wasn't too bad. That's beat it by 5, right?
Oh yeah, so you beat his. Is it try it again? That'll actually take yours up to a D12 stress. What is it you do when it tries to kind of hit you again to put stress on it?
I look down on it and I go, unlike you, I'm not a summoned monster. Be gone. And I say be gone, like the flames in my eyes sort of hit up and like the heat around me just expands a little bit and engulfs him. For just that 1 second, he gets the sense that maybe if he doesn't move right now, I will incinerate him and I'll give him a D12 afraid.
Yeah, it kind of like goes back a little bit. Is either Wrath or Nastaya? What are either of you doing?
I'm I'm gonna knock this third one out.
Yeah.
Can I say what happens? Because it's just an
Yeah.
auto get the fuck out. So like this guy like scratches me and he turns around to go again and he just like sees like the giant end of the hammer coming at his face and like it hits him so hard that he goes through like a wall and then another wall straight into like a gelatinous cube who was on his break.
It's just sitting there, a little bit of tea.
It's like, bloop, and he's like,
The cup of tea is inside the cube.
it's inside the cube, and it's going up and down like on its own. Hand on it.
Yeah, it goes. kind of squishes into the gelatinous cube.
Cool.
And then I sort of go, Nostalgia, you missed one.
It like looks at the three of you and then just turns and flees.
He's dealt with. He's dealt with.
Technically, I dealt with them
Like-
in the burger too, but it's fine.
Excellent work, both of you. I wish I could be more help.
It's fine. We don't expect puny humans to know what to do. You just stay back there and look all precious.
Are we nearly done?
I glare at you as you turn around.
I believe we're close, right, Race?
If this guardian here was summoned by something fairly powerful, and only because the previous guardian would have been destroyed. So Adon definitely made it this far.
Well, then let's keep going.
Yeah, and you probably just got
I'm not going after you.
not a huge amount of time before you reach where the beholder had been.
I was rather hoping these guardians would have done me a favor and made sure that when we found Adon, who was captured and tied up, not dead, because that would be unfair, somewhere unconscious and probably naked, with flag up his. But it looks like he probably did make his way through, if you're right. So let's go in and find out where he went.
But recall, something powerful would have had to summon a guardian of this level.
Ugh, we'll deal with it when it comes.
Samrio, what are you doing to help find your son?
I think we're gonna go around to like all the little dive bars that Ronan had played gigs before that we know about, and like ask if they've seen Ronan or possibly knows where they hang out. Maybe asking any like other teenage kids around.
Okay. So yeah, you go to one of the there's a couple of the dive bars maybe he's played at and such.
Yeah.
Okay. Reach one, got the bartenders in there. The place itself is fairly grimy. You got there's a lute player up playing and singing some kind of bawdy ballads. You're looking around. This isn't like a Thief Guild location, but it's sort of Thief Guild adjacent. Like you're looking around, and these are not like the best people you might see. And the bartender just kind of looks up and goes, "Look, you're out of your element there."
Out of my element. This is my element. I'm a bartender too.
Oh shit, you're a bartender. Was to set you up with something special for that? What do you bartend at?
The Demon's Ruin.
Fucking hell, you are way outside of your element.
I'm
don't
outside
have-
of my. I work with demons now.
Yeah, I know. Here we just kind of like looks around and we just got them. What brings a bartender from the Demon's Ruin in here to
Look,
the Gilded Cup?
Yeah. Looking for a boy named Ronan. We know that he's played some gigs here with his band.
Why are you looking for this kid?
Well, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. It's my son.
Okay, son didn't want to be around his dad. That happens all the time.
It's not that. My son is out and about with my cousin. My dastardly cousin. And I don't want them getting into trouble.
Dastardly. This kind of gives you a look. He's like, I don't see a reason to tell you if I've seen him or not recently.
Okay.
You want to push him?
Let's see. I'm looking at my stuff. Yeah, let's push him. Do you want me to do I do first roll?
Yeah, you do the first roll here, and then, or actually, I'll do it's a resistance thing. So let me go ahead and roll what your. Well, actually, because you're the one pushing it this way, yeah, go ahead and make your roll.
All right, I'm gonna roll. I think I'm gonna roll authority here, even though it's only a D4, because authority makes many into assholes. Like perhaps I'm just being an asshole about it now. So I'm gonna roll that. So we have D4. I'm gonna add. Let's see, for relationships. I'm gonna throw the proprietor's name in here. I'm gonna use a proprietor as leverage. I have a demon boss at my back, Lloyd. Sorry. That's a D10. Yep. And then I mean, he's not born yesterday because I am very practical. And then I'll use Ronin. Roll it. It's a 9.
Okay. Go ahead and grab a plot point.
Okay. So I'm like, look, you gonna help me or not? Or am I gonna have to go talk to my boss about this?
And actually, your effect die would be a D4. It doesn't matter right now because they beat it. But
Okay.
like if it one, you can't use a 1 in the thing, so it becomes a D4 if you don't have one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So at this point, he goes, kind of looks across and goes, "Your boss is head of the Demon's Ruin Inn."
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, so you got a 9 against his 15. That's just going to go ahead and move that effect die up to a D10. At which point, three of the guys are not too far. Kind of, they go to grab you, and they're trying to hold you down. What do you do?
Is Kindy like inside this bar, or is she like standing over to the side, or?
No, Kindy's at home.
Okay, she went home, so I'm on my own. Got it. I think I think I'm just gonna keep talking. I'm not really struggling like physically, but I'm just like still just running my mouth. Like, you know, oh, what the hell is this? You guys are a bunch of wimps. You ever been touched by a demon before in your life?
Touched by a demon. A very special episode of Blossom.
It is a threat in many ways.
Yeah. Am I rolling against something? Do I have to beat the 15, or is this?
Yeah, you're trying to beat the 15.
So, if I'm being a smartass during a dangerous situation, and it says give your opposition a D6, that means you get an extra D6 on your roll. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Usually, technically, it would be for their response if they follow up with another one.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. So I would earn a plot point if they do that. I think I don't know. I think I'm telling the truth. I'm being honest. I'm not lying. I'm using demons again.
Speak the truth, even if it hurts, and it might.
Yeah, it might hurt. And I'm being a smartass. It's a D6. Okay. So D8, D10, D6. It's 13.
Okay. And they've got the 15, so it's kind of got you. They just take a D10 injured as they like start several punches sort of come, and then the bartender goes, "Stop! Take him down to his kid."
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Now we can continue like an actual mechanical struggle, or are you okay with them taking you down? Where,
No, I'm okay with them dragging me down.
Yeah.
Like
So
I'm
they
still
kinda-
being a smart ass the whole time.
they kind of go down the basement. They unlock a door, and in there you see Ronan. I almost said Wrath. You see like Ronan and Arcesius sort of standing there in the thing, and they look as the door opens. They backed up away from it. The guys shove you in, and he just goes, "Hi, Dad. This is not good."
I stand up, like holding my side. Yeah, well, at least I could tell your mom I found you. And I look at Art and I'm like, you're an asshole. All right, which one of you should I beat the shit out of first?
And back in the dungeon. You reach the place where like it would come down to sort of the beholder's lair, and as you're going through there's like rents starting to appear in the air, and those ones you can kind of see through it another, I mean, up kind of into another dimension, into another plane. What happened here when you exploded, when your stuff happened, like seemed to have basically torn reality here in this place. You're going down some of those steps, and then it kind of leads into this like giant void. There's a large you can actually step from there onto this large, what looks to be almost like just like a floating piece of rock. And then sort of throughout it you can see just things sort of like appearing and disappearing. It looks like you're seeing little bits of scenes of something.
Like, Nastya, can you look for the dark sigil that your father mentioned?
Should be around here somewhere, but I'm far more concerned about what on earth is all of this? Who built this? Who thought this was a good idea?
This wasn't what it previously was.
Damn right it wasn't. I'm pretty sure this is a very nice looking home for beholders.
I try
I had the
and
whole
look
place
at the
decorated. We had the candles in the corner to give lighting for the battle scenes. There was a section for the choir to play dramatic music at the top. What the heck is this?
like there was, as I said, the explosion was extraordinary.
Someone else is gonna have to pay for this, not me.
Can I see if the scenes are like just from like another plane, or if I can piece them together?
Yeah, as you just kind of start to look through them. One thing, it's not going to be too hard for you as you're sort of looking through and you're catching the glimpses as you're sort of taking it all in. What you notice is you're seeing like bits and pieces and flashes and very kind of small things of little bits of stuff from your life in the past, as well as, in particular, most of them seem to focus on that final trip down into the dungeon. Like pieces of it have been torn off and are still sort of floating here.
Weird. And they're just like, are they sort of like doing like the Superman, like floating on, glass type thing, flying around, or?
Usually it's just like literal like rents in the air that you're kind of seeing through. There's just these little quick. It's like a montage that's been sort of poorly put together. Things are way too zoomed in. It's kind of hard to tell, but the little bits and pieces.
I guess this is of my last journey here.
And then at this point, Nastya, you've seen something like this before.
Oh, good.
So both for Nastya and the proprietor, we've got Nixtra the Bloody, who we haven't really looked into yet. But one of the things Nixtra, as I recall, is an occasional lover of, or had been an occasional lover of, the proprietor's wife and Nastaya's mom.
Yep.
Now, is that something that's like ongoing, or is it, or was it all in the past?
I feel like it's something that's ongoing. Hence the reason why we have such a tense relationship, because she has. I'm trying to understand these human customs of getting married and settling down, but I also don't understand how her concept of getting married and settling down is. And I'm like, but if you like someone else, do you like them more than me? Do you not? I mean, am I supposed to be jealous? I don't know how this works. I'm still kind of working that out.
I could be jealous. Is that what it? No, okay, I'll be fine. And Nastaya, what would you say? You've got like that he's been trying to convince you to help kind of buy the end, but what has your relationship with Nixtra been like?
She doesn't know Nixtra's bad. And I don't know. I think Nixtra has been like, I shouldn't interfere with that. Like, I won't get in the way. But also, I might be getting back with her mom, so maybe I should tell her. So it's been like a very like, yo, I want you to work for me, and like we'll work together. And it's been like very like weird messages in that it's been like, so yeah, do this job with me, and it will all be cool. So what are your hobbies? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go now.
What are you into? So, when you were, what was it like when you were a part of the dungeon? When you were working down there?
Is this
Nastaya.
I imagine the first time she went down to the dungeon, it was really like she had no idea what to expect, other than like, okay, so she hears all these things from adventurers, but also the proprietor was probably like, oh, say hi to what's his name down there, and she was like, what? Like, so it was probably super tense to begin with, and like as she was like slipping through and like being down there, she bumped into someone and like head for a fight, that person just like and she...
Oh, Lexi, you're cutting out a little bit.
Oh no.
Oh.
At first she was unsure and like was expecting a fight, and then got just like immediately somehow made friends with the people down there.
Okay.
That's my girl.
Apart from like the very first time she did it, it's somehow never been threatening to her. Because like she makes so many friends down there, but at the same time, anyone who's being an asshole to her, she figured out she could punch real hard real soon into her life.
So Nixtra comes down. Like you have just finished off like a group of adventurers. Some of them may have fled. You're still maybe got blood on you from it. Like exhilarating fight, but maybe not as hard as you were hoping for.
Yeah.
Nixtra kind of pokes his head in and goes, "We have a few adventurers running their ass off to get away from here. Is that you?"
Like maybe like a bit of adventurer like falls from the ceiling. I have no idea what you're talking about.
He goes, Is this what you're planning on doing forever?
She bends down and like picks up like a fancy looking sword and maybe like some like expensive looking like wizards like stuff. Like, it pays good.
Pays good, but you not like all of us down here. You don't kind of reincorporate in the same way if you happen to die. Plus, this is for, regular demons. I think you've got something else inside of you.
I mean, what else would I do? What losers do that?
I missed you. What did you say before? What loser does that?
Yeah.
Well, I missed what you said right before that.
Yeah. She says, like, what would I do? Work behind a bar? What losers do that?
He sort of smiles and just comes up and goes, I think you and I, we could take over the Demon's Ruin Inn. We could run this place.
She frowns slightly and says, "So so like, it's all good down here, but I'm not sure I'd be much use murdering people up in the tavern."
At that point, he turns, and he can have a bit of a temper. And he goes, "Murder people, that's your problem. You're thinking too small. You're a better person than this. You should be thinking big. You could go there, take over, get money, get wealth, get power, take over maybe the city at some point. You're going to think small. You're going to be like," and then kind of points over at something like Larry, Rover. Are you going to be like the two of them? Is that all you have inside of you? Or is there something in you that wants to be more?
Oh God, how would she react to that? Can I kick him out of the scene? No, I'm not going to do it. She frowns and says, "Look, I barely know you. Like, why do you want to even think that I could do something like that? Like, why? How would I even go about doing something like that? I'm just this. I punch good."
Yeah, rolling responses. He's trying to push your buttons.
Oh, okay, cool. Do any of the injured or whatever count because it's a flashback? Or...
No, not the. We're not going to go with the injured for this one.
Cool. Oh yeah, no, this is absolutely fuck the police. Does the D6 still apply? Because it was challenged.
Oh yeah, it's still go ahead and keep it at the lower rate.
I guess my relationship. Oh, I can't use my relationship with the provider. God damn it. God, I think he's gonna win this. I really need to up my demon distinction. And I'm gonna use. Has anyone else used an extra?
I don't think so far.
So with extras, is it you can only use 2 in total, or you can't use the same one more than twice?
It can only be 2 in total the entire time.
Okay, so
I used the Ruins Inn once.
Oh, so okay, so 2 of them have been used then.
Yeah, so that would be like so you would lose 1 on the Ruins Inn if you use that one.
No, and you can use as many as you want at during the session. But for instance, if someone uses a location or an extra, that person or location can only be used twice during this episode.
Wow, I am rolling real low. Let's go. I can't even beat this at all. Yeah. Cool. So tell me how I get like a D100 angry.
Oh, shit, 7?
Yeah, I felt it.
Yeah, so in this case, 4. In one sense, you do want to get stressed because that ends up being your XP essentially. So at certain points, we got already. Actually, angry does make some sense in that one. So you've got a 7 against a 17. That actually will take that to a total of a D12. It reaches down like this mage that you had killed, and there's just like glowing on his hands, and as it reaches in, there's this explosion that sort of happens from inside of it as he tosses it up into sort of the air. And you can see like parts of the soul of the mage sort of floating through the air, and in it you see, just like you're seeing in the Beholder's what used to be the Beholder's Den, these just little snippets of the life, though they actually are clearer than what you're seeing in the Beholder's Den. It's like, this is what that thing, and points down towards it, wanted. And you can see the mage itself. These dreams of power, of grandeur, of becoming like a king or a lord of an order. And there's a whole bunch of these things that are sort of a part of it. And then you see parts of the life also floating through. This thing underneath your foot had bigger dreams than you've ever had. And you sit here and you're willing to just be someone killing people in a dungeon. You are better than this. You were born better than this.
So yeah, she's glaring, and she's like got her like fists super clenched, and she says, yeah, and she's definitely like intimidated, and I think she like breaks a little bit and says, I don't know how to even begin working for anything like that.
He just kind of looks over and he goes, I may have something. Proprietor, do you know that that's her father? Oh, Lloyd frozen or meditating? Okay.
Yes, I did know her father.
Okay. So yeah, you know that he's her father. So this is again flashback in sort of the past. He comes into the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sort of a beeline for you. Goes, we need to talk.
I'm probably, you know what? Just for 6'6", I'm holding like a drunk punter upside down and shaking him for money. And I turn over and like, is it important?
Yes, it's important.
I'm kind of in the middle of something.
And at that point, he kind of looks at you, sort of glares, and goes, do you think I would come up to you while you're roughing up someone who's trying to skip out on his bar tab?
Yes.
You think I would just come up to you when you're doing this if it wasn't important? He reaches out with a hand and grabs the other leg of the thing. He goes, now put this one down so that you and I can talk.
I let go.
He does too.
Do you have enough patience to make it to my office, or are we going to settle this right here and right now?
We should talk.
All right, then. Come along. And then I'll take him up to my office.
Okay. So, he gets rather bossy as you get in. He goes, just turns and goes, you are going to take Nastya here into the bar. You're going to make sure she becomes something better than what's going on, than what she is right now.
I'm sorry, did you just poke me?
Yes, I poked you.
You are coming up here. You're making giant, grandiose moments, and it's also you can ask a favor. Why should I do this for you?
Make a roll. Ooh, he's got a 16.
Oh boy, I'm gonna get my first freaking penalty. Yeah. Oh boy, this guy's hardcore.
It's actually the Doom pool right now. So
Shit. Gotta buy that shit out. Okay, let's see. What have I got? Let's go. Wall authority. I run it in like a dungeon, so do that, and then Nastya is D8. Can I use that?
sure.
And I'm gonna put my mini boss because nobody talks to me that way. Seven. I've got a 14. What do you have?
He's got a 16.
I will buy with my 5 one of my plot points. Do I want to make sure I win this completely? Because we still have one more left of the location, right?
Yeah, I think it's been used once.
Cool. I will use the other one afterwards just to boost myself up a bit. And I will boost that up by a d12 myself. There we go. That's better. I'm more comfortable with that.
Remember, generally you want to make sure you do that before you when you.
Oh,
when
I thought you
roll.
could use. I thought you could use like locations after you rolled.
I believe you're supposed to actually declare those things as you do it. They get added on to the top of it.
Oh, okay, fair dues. I didn't have to declare it beforehand. My bad. Yeah, I'll take it off. I'll just take it off.
That's
Don't
fine.
worry.
You can go with it.
You sure? Okay. And I'll look down at him like I'll look down at him like, what makes you think you can come here and ask me a favor upon all things?
You have a 28, which means he is probably losing. Yep.
I don't hesitate.
Yeah, he just goes.
Also, I'll buy that one off you. Keep going. That's for later.
Yeah, spend your pop point.
Yep.
So at which point he just goes, because you're with her mother now and she deserves better. And he sort of slumps down. I don't want to see her wasting her life in the dungeon.
So you've come to me, her new father, and you wish that I make her a better person than some slave that goes about the dungeons doing their own thing.
Yeah, it sort of looks. Yes.
Are you willing to bet your life that I treat your daughter better than anyone else I've treated so far?
Sort of smiles, and up and goes, I don't have to bet my life. You're with her mother. She'll make your life hell if you don't.
That is also true. Then I'll turn towards him slightly, and I'll leaning forward and I'll go, how about I do you one better? When I am done with your daughter, no man, living or dead, no creature upon all the realms that exist will dare to stand against her. Not even you.
That's all I just want for her. And then he doesn't cry, but there's just that moment he goes, that's exactly why I want her out of the dungeon. Because there, she'll just get ground down. You, here, more opportunities.
It's a deal. I'll make sure she's more than perfectly fine. Can we shake on it? I will slam him into my table. As I got it, I go, oh, and never threaten me again.
And then we can cut back. Can we have a second? I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. I don't know if you want to tell... yeah, you can tell Wrath kind of what you saw with the soul thing. But give me just a second.
Go.
Oh, shoot.
So these are like fragments of a soul, kind of.
I'm terribly sorry. You could be more specific here.
So, like, imagine these fragments are like memories or like hopes and dreams or stuff like that. Imagine someone's brain.
I'm sorry. Stop. What is hope? What are dreams?
It's like, have you ever wanted a... Have you ever wanted to kill someone really, really badly?
I look over at Wrath and I go, no.
As I'm looking at all the different images.
But you really want to kill someone, but you haven't had the chance or are not able to, and it's something that you look forward to hopefully doing in the future.
I see what you're getting at. So it's kind of like a grudge. That's what hope is.
Kind of. Like, it's part of the grudge where you're looking forward to getting this person. That's like hopes and dreams.
I like it. This hopes and I can work with these hopes and dreams.
So I'm not paying attention. You two don't like. these are all memories of my life and my journey down here. Every one of them is where I'm using my magic.
You really got fucked up, huh?
Less swearing, darling. We work by power, not by words.
This used to be a cavern with a floor, if that tells you anything.
That I
Right.
know. So what does all of this mean?
Samrio.
What does it mean? Sanrio!
You are in. Yeah. So yeah, you are in the. I can't remember what you say. Which one of those two did you have to beat the shit out of?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, which one of you had to beat the shit out of?
And at that point, Ronan actually just kind of it was my idea to show up here. We took him around. I was just showing your cousin about, and someone seemed to recognize him, and they threw us down here.
But why would they throw you down here?
Arcestes, that was Drunks. He goes, I shouldn't have anybody after me. I mean, she's just kind of helping keep me safe. There's people looking for. And he kind of looks up because he's not quite sure what to say. I really don't know. This might have to do with our mutual friend.
So, tell me what do you have to do with Claudia?
And Ronan, because I don't think Ronan's like, does that do with Claudia?
Ronan, stay out of this. I'm talking to Ark.
Cloud is trying to move me out of this so that I can go back home, and there are people hunting someone like me.
Are they hunting someone like you, or are they hunting you?
There are not many people like me here in this area.
So, are you saying this is like a case of mistaken identity?
At that point, his eyes kind of like glare a little bit, and he goes, "Listen, I don't want to be here any more than you do. I want to be able to go back home. I want to be back with my people." And she put me someplace I thought I'd be safe, and apparently she screwed up. And if we don't find a way out of this, you are going to end up having to deal with a very, very angry Clouda.
Look, I did my part.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
He goes, so what you need to do right now is back off so we can try to do this. You said you've done your part?
Yeah, I've done my part. I've done what was asked of me. And then some. I shouldn't have had to come looking for you. I kind of like glare at Ronan when I do that. When I say that. I don't even know how I could beat that. What's that, a 19? Yeah, I don't even think I have enough dice to beat that.
That's one thing you can do is you can't just give in if you want. It's basically like the.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give in on this one.
Okay. So this whole thing there is mostly just to get off of them about this, and try to figure out a way out.
Right. This discussion's not over, but for now it is. How the hell do we get out of here?
Well, we have a whole bunch of whatever the hell they are outside, so.
I'm like looking around to see if there's like a, entrance to a basement or, a cellar door or something, close by, a window.
Do you want to spend a plot point to create a D6 window or something that might be in a place you might be able to boost yourselves to?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna spend a plot point to do a D6. Let's say it's like kind of like it's not a skylight. It's like a grate, like
Okay.
to the alleyway.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of spy it, and like it might be enough to sort of get out of. It'll be a little tough to get through, but it could be possible.
All right. I'm like, yeah. All right, Ronan, you first. I like we both kind of boost Ronan up.
Okay. And he's kind of a skinny dude. So he kind of goes up, and then just like kind of like pushes his way through, and then it's like, I'm not seeing anybody here.
All right.
Quick. Raises his hand down.
Yeah, I say, all right, Ark, I can't leave you here. I'm gonna have to deal with you and Clouda. Go ahead. So I like lift Ark up.
Okay. He kind of kicks his way up, and at which point the door sort of opens he's just sort of kind of cleared the thing, gotten his feet through, and you see there's a guy coming in, and he's got like a knife in his hands, and there's two other guys with him. It's like, all right, so we need to what?
I continue pushing Ark up.
Okay, yeah, he's out and through. Are you gonna try to dive out before they can get to you?
Yeah, I'll attempt it.
Okay. So with whatever you roll, add the D6 because of the grate.
Okay. I don't see how traits help here. Or values. I guess the value is I mean, I could do. I'm gonna use loyalty because I'm still kind of like fulfilling my job to Clouda.
Mm-hmm.
For relationships, I don't think I have any relationships here that help me out.
Well, your wife will kill you if you don't get him back.
Yeah, that's true. That's giving me a little juice in my step. So we'll do loyalty, candy. I do have a telekinesis ability.
Yeah.
A lesser known telekinesis ability.
To knock stuff over?
Yeah, I think I want to like knock some shit off. Like maybe like this is like a pantry or something, and there's like canned goods and like bottles of liquor and stuff on the shelf there. I just want to slow these guys down, like that are coming in to the room. So I'm gonna use that.
Okay.
I don't think smart ass not born yesterday any of that works. So, that's a D6, a D12, and a D10.
Okay. And remember, you can also use the Ronan. You have him as an extra.
Yeah, so I could roll that after.
Yeah. Then what is you roll it, then you add to. The reason we haven't rolled after is because it gets added directly onto it, so you need to know which dice are his.
Ronan's a D6.
Okay.
So that would be.
He hasn't been used yet, I don't think.
Yeah, I did use him in the previous roll.
So you just roll 1d6, and that 1d6 gets added onto the top of what you roll.
Right, I'll roll it afterwards since I'm already rolling a D6 for telekinesis. So that'd be a 9
plus 5, 14.
And I'll do a D10 effect die.
Okay. So yeah, then you've got the 5 on there as well. However, was that 19 I rolled for them, or was that a previous one?
I don't. It was pretty high what you rolled.
Okay, it was the 19. I'm just trying to remember if I rolled that for you or for a different one. Yeah. So in that case,
that was for Arcs.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right. Okay. So yeah, because I was sitting there going, I didn't think it was for this one. Mm-hmm. So their roll against you, they also get to use your D10 because of your injured. However, so you've got 5, 10, 14.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
16 for them.
Yeah. So in their case, as you're kind of trying to pull your way up, like they come down, like, grab him. They come in, they grab you and then kind of pull you back, and you hear Ronan going, Dad.
Yeah, I'm just like, just go tell your mom. Go get your mother. She's waiting for you.
Okay.
What did they say about all the shit flying off the shelves?
Yeah, what the fuck? Grab him. What's going on? And then you see Ark kind of pulls out a knife and just like whips it through the like that little grate and catches one of the guys like in the head.
Oh,
there's a moment where he just sort of hits. You feel the hands loosen on you briefly.
You idiot! You're making this worse.
So the hands are loose on you. Are you gonna run or stay there?
Would I be able to run out of a bar that's full of these guys?
You might be able to. There was a back door that wasn't too far from the entrance downstairs.
At this point, no, I'm not gonna run.
Okay.
If I think Cloud is gonna show up here, I'm not gonna run.
Okay. Yeah, so at that point, go ahead and take a for you. What, I have a D10 there? So the good thing is this will give you a lot of growth pool, especially for the next couple things.
I'm already injured too, so it'd probably be too painful to run.
Yeah, so that's a D10, and I go ahead and take Afraid as they sort of close in, and you have the one guy who's there twitching on the ground, and they just like kind of pull knives, and it's like, hopefully you will be enough. Where are they going back to?
I don't know. I don't even know how the hell they ended up here. Can't keep track of them too.
All right, back in the dungeon.
Like, this is interesting, but unless you can figure out how to get that back in here, we need to find Adon.
Well, let's think logically. Despite my flaws, Adon would have come in and seen this. What would be his first conclusion? You're the magic man. How would he fix this, and why is fixing it means he's had to leave the plane?
If he saw this, he knows he doesn't have enough skills in life magic to
Put it all together.
put this back in.
So then he would have gone
He may
somewhere.
have gone out to seek his goddess.
I'm sorry? Come
Stara.
again? So you're telling me after seeing this, he decided to go straight to Mystara to get the power he needs to recreate this.
Wait, you can do that?
I look at the star like, yeah, totally. And I look over like,
When I was summoned to the temple, they said that he had been completely consumed by this, of trying to restore me. He doesn't have, he doesn't have enough contacts with the other high clergy of other gods and goddesses. He would have relied on his faith and went to his own.
Couldn't he have just found another man? This seemed like a lot for one person.
I glare at you. I'm standing right here.
we know.
At some point, I will have my powers back.
You gonna do fry me?
Could you two stop fighting without actually fighting, please? I can't deal with this. If you're not going to actually punch each other, there is no point. More importantly, how do we follow? I look around. Did he leave like a calling card? Is there?
You mentioned a sigil.
Yes.
Did you not?
Oh,
Well-
right.
Have you found it?
You were supposed to be looking for that when
I was, huh?
I start looking myself and just kind of shake my head.
I roll my eyes like it's like I'm partying with two children. Is this what adventuring is like? It's terrible. Why didn't you do this for fun?
Quick question. When I lost to Dad Demon, as I will never remember his name,
Sure.
did I get angry? Did
Yeah,
I get what stress?
yeah, that was angry.
But what was it? A D?
Oh crap.
Did you say D12?
There was D12 that came up. That may have been you.
Yeah, it's right. I think. Jesus, that was a lot.
So are you looking for the?
Yeah, let's
The rune?
all search for this
Yeah.
thing.
So I'm looking
Okay.
for the rune.
Also, Michael, I bought that one of the what's called a D10 off you.
Yeah, I removed that from. It's a 2D10 instead of 3.
How look works. Apparently, I'm the only one who can recognize them and not wander off in their own thoughts.
And I'll say, Nastaya, you actually find, as you're sort of like kind of going around, you see a place where it's got the rune and it's very, very lightly glowing. Like it's got almost a blackish light coming off of it.
She thinks back and like a little cartoon like thought bubble comes to her head, and every line it's just like a dozen times people have come across like slightly glowing runes in the dungeon, either exploded or frozen them. So she's like, yeah, I'm not touching that. Whereabouts is it in the room?
So like it's a weird thing because it's like what used to be like a single kind of cavernous place has now been weirdly split in a lot of ways. So as you're sort of going through and finding the stuff that you're looking for, you kind of go off into a little like what would kind of a side cavern, but the thing is you can still see where they're at because some of the walls that should have been there are missing.
Yeah, is this what you're looking for?
I go over and look at it.
Yep, seems to be.
That meets the criteria.
Yeah, you touch it.
Like, I turned to the proprietor. What did they say about it?
It is capable of taking things and taking places to things that didn't exist anymore. Both within our room and the others. So, quite frankly, to put it into mild words, I have no idea. But, only one thing to do. I'm going to reach out and I'll put my hand on it.
I was going to say, before he gets to it, I put my hand on it.
Nope.
Can we do it together? Like,
And then grab. Well, yeah, because I'm going for the rune as well. So.
Yeah.
Best friends touching runes at the same time.
Yay!
As it touches it, there's almost like it just kind of goes kind of through all of you. And then as you look up, like the thing around you has changed, and you can see like an almost ghostly figure of Wrath on the ground, writhing in agony. There is a beholder that itself is like most of the eyes are sort of like clenched up and gone, and it's the stalks have been kind of going crazy. There's some beams sort of heading up, but then you see Adon, like current Adon, and like he looks exhausted and kind of pale and drawn. At this point, he's sort of floating up above it, and it's just like you see there's a great amount of power he's trying to pull out of, in particular, the beholder itself. Like he's trying to tame a huge amount of power.
So he's actually solid and the other things aren't?
Yeah. Like I mean, he's like this is the same as sort of this is actually him in front of it. He's just in front of these sort of ghostly apparitions of the past, and is trying to pull out a great amount of power from what in particular the beholder at this point.
You said he was floating?
Yeah, and he's just sort of floating there, and just he's like sweat sort of pouring out. His eyes are closed as it's just a huge amount's coming through him.
I think we found him.
Oh, I will rush to his side and
Here he goes.
see if I can lend him my strength.
Job's done. I can go home now, right?
I give you the. Don't even think about it right now.
Okay. So the thing is, you have no more magical strength to lend him.
Right. So what I'm doing is as I stand behind him, I gather what he's trying to do. He's trying to absorb, maybe some of the power from that blast, at the time. And I'm going to use my intelligence to see if I can help guide him. In other words, like, okay, once you have power, you can't just keep absorbing. You have to redirect it.
I am aware of it, Wrath. Remember, I'm a high mage too, or high cleric too. This is kind of coming through him, but like,
do you want my help or not? All I can help is to guide.
Proprietor, well, you can tell like this amount, and this is something Wrath is also probably aware of. This amount of power coming through, like, just the body can't handle. Try to pull all this in. Not only the energy from Beholder, from whatever happened that actually split apart part of Wrath's soul, like whatever it was that caused this thing to break away from him, that it's much more than like a person can channel.
Sorry, that means that Adon will die doing this, right?
Likely. If he continues, like this is the chances of him being able to actually do it are pretty slim.
Nestalia, interesting question. If you had a chance to choose two things, do something out of spite or do something out of necessity, what would you rather pick?
I'm not. Like, is this the best time for?
There is always a time for questions and learning. Always. What would you pick?
God, I don't know. Necessity, I guess. I'm not willing to die to kill someone out of spite or anything.
Well, I'm about to show you how you can do both. And then I will charge Adon and I will literally rip him out of the spell.
All right, go ahead and make the roll for that. This is more to see if you get like backlash from.
No problem. I don't think power counts for this. I think this
God
is.
damn it! I was hoping to put some stress on you.
Oh, no, don't worry. I'll roll low for this one. Just
You got to roll below a 5 because I rolled a 5 because
Apparently easy, very easy to break his concentration.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was too. He's not focused hard enough. I'm gonna go for my attention because I'm like I want him to know it's a bad idea. I might roll low if you're lucky because Adon is only D6, so that's 2D6, and I'm gonna throw in my savage die because F him. Oh, never mind. 12, but I got a D6 1. I'll take that plot point.
Yeah, take the plot point.
And I'll basically reach in, grab him, and I'll rip him out and slam him onto the ground.
Yeah, and then you can see like the energy sort of kind of pour back into him, like his own that he was bringing up, and just the moment where he's just dripping with sweat and exhausted, and then the power sort of snaps back into the sort of ghostly thing of the beholder there.
I'm gonna keep my hand on him, and I'm gonna mutate it so my hand grows bigger so it can hold him down.
Yeah, he's not trying to get up because he's been for a couple days been
Doing
pushing it
this.
kind of full.
Ryder, I'm like, what are you doing? He almost had it. All we needed was a gate to funnel the energy.
Have you both completely and utterly lost your minds? I don't mind watching humans die for their own hubris and stupidity, but if you could not see how this was going to kill him to give you your power back, then I don't understand how the two of you could possibly say you're in love. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Just
Both of
needed a gate.
Didn't need anything. It would have killed him regardless of a gate or a funnel or a magical, beautiful blessing unicorn that came out of nowhere. And you were going to let him do that, die for you so you can have your power. Is that what you want? Is that what you need?
Are you? Let me know if you two want to get into where goes into conflict mode.
Yeah!
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Like,
So I go for a roll?
Take him, Wrath. Put some. I have failed to put stress on the
you might
proprietor.
you might understand demon kind, but you know nothing of the capabilities of magic.
Dude.
I would have Lloyd get the roll because like Lloyd was pushing like crazy there.
Yeah, he was pushing like crazy, so I'm gonna let him set the stakes.
All right, so
What are
let's
you
do
trying
this.
to get me to do?
I'm trying to get you to finally give up trying to get your powers.
Ooh, okay.
This is a stupid plan. You're going to get yourself killed. Also, I
I'm
don't
trying to
have to get
convince you that I need help that only a demon of your magnitude can provide.
powers. I can respect that. All right, Wrath. We're still practically partners. I'm not about to leave you yet, so I'm going to stick that there. And I am actually going to use my big-hearted dice because I do actually care. And I don't want you to die.
Aw, that's touching.
Although I'm also really nice because I really want to spite Adon because I know your pain will give him pain, and that makes me happy. So I double win. That's a D20. Get out of here. What are you doing here? Shoot. All right, that will be a 17. Come at me, bro.
So I'm going to be using my my honesty that you can't handle the truth that, true love and, our magical abilities can solve pretty much anything.
We'll follow you forever.
I'm going to challenge my relationship with you, which was never a trusted demon, so I'm asking you to trust me so that we can work on this together.
Man, I haven't fought someone in Smallville for so long.
And
I feel so good.
I'm definitely trying to flex my knowledge here.
Do it.
I'll spot some magical garble. So D10, 3D8, D12. And I have to roll a 17? Is that it? So
It's been a plot point. You got that.
I am totally going to do that.
Yeah.
And I will add in the... Actually, I'm going to add in 4 with the D12 effect.
All right, make your statement and I'll continue mine.
I'm like, all this energy needs to do is be channeled to one of your horrific planes of hell where it can just cause someone... I don't care who it affects. They're demons. They'll get over it. You have that ability. You have that power.
My response is going to be,
You're connected to your plane at all times.
I would love to help you, always, to make you have your strength back. But clearly you cannot seem to see that everything you do hurts the people around you. Your stupid obsession with getting your powers and strength back has driven your own lover to the point where he would rather die for you. And if you want that to happen for all demon kind, so they die for you, so you can have what it is you need, you can have to find yourself another goddamn proprietor. And I'm going to be challenging my D6 of We're Proud to Be Partners on this one. Because fuck you, you bitch.
You're basic.
What? Just because I put my own needs above, like some random demons who would get fried by a bunch of energy?
Rude.
Do you want to kill all the demons? That
Not all of
seems
them.
fine.
Just some of them. I don't care.
Hmm.
They're just demons.
I'm going to also spend one of my plot points to add Natasha to this.
Oops, sorry. I rolled again as opposed to clearing.
Oh, holy shit. I was like, damn, Lloyd.
No,
Nope.
I just did clear.
Yeah, I'm
Which
not
my
that
clear,
good.
my clear
Even
is
I'm-
not working.
Even
so-
I'm not that good. Clear's not working.
No, that one worked. Not that one.
All right, I've got a 19, and I'll spend that last plot point just because I'm like, let's go all the way and stress you out. To get that 6 in, so that's 25, and I'm nice. I will give you a D6 to roll against me.
Okay. So you're at 25?
Yeah. And I gotta change this statement to.
What's your effect die?
My effect is only a D8, so it should be good for now. But that's going to increase.
That's high.
Man, I've missed this. Haven't you missed this, Steve?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Haven't you missed this moment we had together when I tried to get you something? Ah, good times.
Well, let's see. When you challenge a statement, is it good for the scene or just for that role?
Oh, just
It's
that
good
roll.
for that. It's good for the. I think the whole stretch.
I'll double check. I believe it's just. I believe it's just for that particular role. But let me double check.
I'm pretty sure. I think it does work for the whole thing, but I mean the whole like sequence of rolling for that encounter conflict. But I have to double check to be sure.
Because kind of like tripling it the whole time seems like that would be challenge relationship. Step down one die size for the rest of the episode. I believe it's just for that
roll.
roll. Otherwise, yeah, you'd have.
Oh, okay. All right. Take the hit. Do it.
I know.
Do it. Do it.
Well, that's the thing. I have to roll anyways.
Yeah, true. Your rest,
because spending the plot point just allows me to back out, and I'd rather take the hit.
You might get to 25.
Do you have any extras or locations that work?
No.
I want to see you nail the proprietor.
I'm trying to think. I can get it. I can get a 2d8 location by spending a plot point. Connected. But like the people I'd be connected to down here are basically all dead. So I can't think of mechanically how, or not mechanically, but narratively how that would work. I'm still going to be rolling d12, d10, d8s. I'll go for it.
You still got a chance to get up there at plot points.
I will go for it. So I definitely. Let me assemble the dice pool first, and then I'm going to use my attention. I'm going to use my step down proprietor. I'm going to use my genius. Oh, because again, I'm still trying to tell you I know what I'm doing. D12, D10, and D6. And I didn't really.
Don't forget, I give you a free D6.
And the free D6. Oh, D10, D6, D6. So that will not be enough, but I'm going to roll it anyways, because who knows?
Just roll a top dollar and you'll be fine. Like that.
Not high enough. So I do the whole puff up my chest thing that seems to have worked for most people, and give you the what for of God damn it! It's all I have. Adon is injured because he knows this is the only way.
This is a stupid way, and you are stupid for doing it. And if you're going to continue this goddamn train of thought, I don't want you in my bar anymore. And I will give you a D8. Oh, sorry, what'd you actually get?
16.
So, because I beat you by 5, it steps up, right?
Yep.
And because of the D6 I gave you, it steps up again, so take a D12 and insecure.
You didn't stress me out.
No, I didn't stress you out. I was so close!
So close.
So close to stressing you out.
So
but
what's stressing out do?
Actually, I already had a D4. Does that replace it?
It replaces.
That stress me out.
Yeah, if you're stressed out, it takes you out of the scene.
Oh, damn.
Like it could be if your anger or something that's up. Like you might physically be there, but you're not in a position where you can kind of roll to do something. Like you might be emotionally distraught or whatever.
I could have taken you if I went for afraid, but because afraid doesn't make sense, insecure makes sense. I can only get you to D12. I can't get you higher than that.
At which point, Adon's just sort of like, we should go back.
I cannot believe I am saying this, but Adon's right. We should get him somewhere warm and safe. Nastya, we're heading back, and I'll pick up Adon. I'll throw him over my shoulder. And don't you go getting any ideas, Adon.
Okay. Samrio, you've been sort of like tied to a chair in a different room for a bit. Oh, okay. And then you hear the banshees scream, and then you can kind of feel the terror start to go through you, but because you are sort of stuck someplace, everyone else start like you see some people start to flee, and then a bunch of the of her gang kind of come in and kind of make short work of the people that are there, and she comes up to you, goes through and like has a knife in her hand, slices your bombs away, and goes, "You did good. You got him out. You took care of what you're supposed to do."
Yeah, can't say I didn't pay for it. Oh, I think I broke a rib.
She smiles. She's like, "There's people who can see to that." And then, okay, so he pulls out like a little purse of money, and hands it over to you.
What the hell is this?
You went above and beyond. You could have come to us. You could have had somebody else. This is for keeping him safe.
Yeah, well, I don't want your money. I want to know when he's going to be out of my life.
We should be able to send him out end of the week.
No, I don't want your money. I'm not working for you for money.
Smiles, goes, "All right."
Working for you to pay off my debt.
She goes, "Okay." Then sort of takes the money back. At this point, it might be a good thing for if people want to have like tag scenes with each other to like at the end of it to get people back, kind of bring it down, and then also allow people to take care of stress.
Mm-hmm. So how does that work?
So what happens is, in order to get those back, one person like you'll have a scene with someone, and then what they will do is say, "I'm going to try to heal this stress, like stress X," and you'll have a scene. They will make a normal roll. You will roll the stress that you have, and if they succeed, you lose the stress completely that they were trying to help with, and then that goes into your growth pool.
Okay, so it's the same either way, right? I mean, because the stress goes into your growth pool either way.
Well, the thing is it goes in the growth pool at the end of a session. You get the highest one into your growth pool.
Okay.
So let's say, do you have like a what, D10 or D12?
I have 2 D10s and a D8.
Okay, so let's say you have a scene with someone and they take care of your D10. The D10 goes into the growth pool, and at the end of the session, you have your other D10 will go into the growth pool,
Okay.
and then everything will step down by 1.
Gotcha.
So if they don't take it down, you'll get just 1 D10 into the growth pool at the end of the session.
Yeah. I'd love to have a scene with somebody to be able to take down one of these D10s.
It often makes also for a good sort of end of session. Everyone's now done their thing. They've got that moment of sort of rest. Okay. Lexi, y'all, did you take a break?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm just thinking if. Yeah, I'll have a scene with somebody.
So yeah, you managed to sort of bring Adon back up, where he's resting. He's going to need a little bit of time, because he's out. He's basically pushed himself to a huge degree.
Yeah, and you guys probably come back up into the bar and don't see Sanrio there.
Yeah, Scala's working the bar.
It's probably a freaking disaster.
That's going pretty decent. I mean, she's like there's other like waiters and waitresses kind of heading around, but yeah, she's kind of got it. She's not making drinks particularly well, but if people want something simple like a beer, they're good.
Scala, why are you? Never mind.
And she looks. She's like, "How was the dungeon?"
Points at like.
I just huff as I'm walking to my parlor.
It went well.
Just okay. Goes
Yeah,
through kind of.
I think at this point you see like Sanrio like stumble into the bar with a obvious limp, because Sanrio's not going home yet. Like he doesn't want to face that wrath. But yeah, Sanrio like kind of like walks into the bar and he's got a limp and obviously in pain. Thanks, Scala. I think I can finish up.
kind of looks back and she's like, you sure? You look like shit.
Well, I feel like shit, but gotta finish the day, right?
I suppose.
Oh, I see our intrepid dungeon delvers are back.
Why do people say I'm the violent one when clearly you have been beaten the shit out of?
Oh, are we back?
Yeah, we can kind of get to the point. Do some tag scenes and then growth.
Oh,
Here
fair.
soon.
Your 2d10s back.
So, as we get back, I sort of open up and I'm like, Sanrio!
What? Ah, what?
Have you changed your hair? You look different.
No, I'm okay. What's up?
All right, good. We're opening late tonight. I decided to have a little bit of celebration, so you don't mind working until 3 in the morning, right?
Yeah. I
Good.
guess-
Smack on the back.
Ah!
Good to be hearing from you. Sound good, right? And I'll pick up Ada. I'll look over at her and go, do you want your human clerics to deal with this, or do you want me to put him in the bed upstairs? I don't know how this works.
Bed upstairs.
All right. Oh, you're paying for it. And then I'll go up to one like the ends and I'll just like chuck him on the bed, like in a like awkward position so he wakes up pins and needles. I'll just leave him there and close the door.
I'm like, Wrath? Was that Adon?
It is.
What the hell happened down there? Why is boss acting like he's never in a mood like this?
I don't want to talk about it. And I walk off.
Nastya, did you want to have a tag scene where you lowered a stress?
Yeah, I want to get rid of my fearful. What are your 2d10s? Which d10 do you want to get rid of as well?
Either injured or afraid, because I'm like all freaked out about what just happened at that other bar.
Can we do this? Can two people get rid of their things in the same scene, or do they?
Yeah, you can help each other.
Cool. Do you want
So basically, the way it works is you have the scene. You will make the roll against their stress. Like the person who is, you say, I'm going to try to help this stress. It doesn't matter what the size of which one it is. Then they'll roll all of their stress and get a total like normal, and then you'll roll your stuff, and then you'll see if that takes away the stress. It goes away completely, and that goes into growth pool.
Is like I think she sighs and just says, "Let me go get the first aid stuff."
Oh no, that's really unnecessary. I think.
No, I need to listen. Okay, and then she like goes down into her den and quickly comes out with like a huge like bag full of like like it's not like a proper like.
Are you there, Alexa? You gotta cut out.
Oh no, fuck. Yeah, she goes down into her den and comes back with like a bunch of like looted like medical stuff that she got from Dead Adventurers.
Oh, so it's not like a first aid kit. It's like
Yeah,
a giant sack of mishmash.
Yeah.
Scavenged items. Okay.
So she's like, okay, which one of these do what did you do? How did you get into all this? How were you beat up again?
Yeah, just what family's like.
I guess. So who?
So you're trying to lower my injured.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
So she'll go ahead and make a roll. If you want, go ahead and roll all of your stress.
Like I roll all my stress?
Yeah.
So 2d10s and a d8?
Yep.
Jesus, what?
And then Lexa will make a roll sort of as normal because you've got like the scene, what makes sense for those.
Okay. Yeah, this is definitely. Oh my god, it's a D4. So D4. I am so screwed here.
Well, your D4s are in what?
I just have 2d4 and. So what happens if the roll fails?
Well, if it roll fails, that nothing happens at that point. Like then it doesn't change or go down. Primarily means they don't get a second one on there. But remember, you can also use. There's Demon's Ruin Inn, which I don't think has been necessarily used. Possibly, if you grab something out of your basement or den on the top of it. Which one are you using for your value?
Yeah, hold on, wait. 2d6, that'd be great, actually. Yeah. I'm using loyalty and my relationship to Samrio, which is 2d4, but I can also have 2d6. And
The other thing, if we want to game it a little bit, because if Samrio is also trying to sort of talk to you to get rid of your, you got the afraid, your attention. It's cute how much people try to talk to me.
yeah, that's also true.
Like if you've got the scene, because like the two of you can kind of like play out the scene, and then we can kind of figure out which ones work. Because there it could actually give you the D10 as opposed to the D4s. Because
So,
instead of a loyalty
what
thing, it
stress
would
you
be-
trying to get rid of? Alexa? The angry?
I'm trying to get rid of my afraid.
Oh, you're afraid. Okay. Yeah, so like Samrio's like, are you, Nistai, are you okay? I mean, why are you being so helpful?
She purposefully like puts, you know how like you can put like alcohol on some cotton and then it really things. You very purposely does that when you try to talk.
I mean, what? Ow! No, seriously, I mean, why?
Listen.
You just seem different.
Listen. We went down there. It was all fine. I saved the day a couple times. It's just, really weird, creepy monster. That's all. And
Wait. Are you scared of something? Are you saying you're scared of something down there?
more alcohol on like
Stop! That's enough. Okay. Ow. Okay. Yeah, it does feel better. Oh, thank you. No, you're not afraid of anything.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm serious. You're like one of the bravest people I know.
I mean, you do know a bunch of humans, so the bar's pretty low.
Well, let me say you're the bravest demon I know.
So I'm cool. So let me. Okay, so yeah, it's very cute how you're trying to do stuff for me right now. Oh God. Did that do it?
Yeah.
9 + 4.
Yeah, it's 13. You beat my 10.
Nice.
All right, so that will remove. So basically, what will happen is Samriel will take your highest stress and then move that into get rid of it, move it over into your growth pool.
So I pull out 2 potions from the bag, and they're both kind of reddish, and she's like, okay, one of these definitely was a health potion. One of these definitely was a health potion.
What's the other one?
She looks into the bag where there's and you know how sometimes they have stickers on, well, not stickers, but labels on the things, and labels down there, and one of them definitely has a skull and crossbones on it. They're both health potions. Have this one. And it was totally the right one, and she's like, whew.
Yeah, I drink it down. So I just totally take away my injured? Is that how that works?
Yep, and then that will go into your growth pool.
Okay.
I apologize for what you're about to have to roll against.
Did we stream this
Fuck
game?
me.
Wow. So I have to beat 18?
Oh Jesus!
Nice roll. All right, Pat, you can do this.
Or
You
do I have to
should've
beat a
come to me.
24?
I'm the king of the dice. I'm
18.
gonna you out.
It's just the standard, so it's 18.
Okay. Okay, so I think I'm doing... I think I'm doing honesty. I'm being honest. My relationship with Nistai is a D8, so that's 2 D8s. I will go likable. So that's a D6. Demon's Ruin's already been used. What about plot points? Can I spend a plot point to do something here?
Yeah, you'll be supposed to spend a plot point to use either another distinction or a D6 or create a D6. Basically, just a small advantage. Which would be the same thing. So I mean, I guess if you because you can have the putting your likable in there as well for for another plot point, maybe even smartass.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering if I could get like another use of the Demon's Ruin with a plot point. I don't know if that's how it works.
The Demon's Ruin has already been used.
Yeah, twice.
Twice, yeah. So that's no longer able to be used.
Okay. So I guess it's just likable. So it's just a D6 and 2D8s, pretty much.
If you wanted, you also could invite her over for dinner, and that would be you could use your home for comfort and rejuvenation.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably do that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use because she hates it so much. I'm gonna use Ronin. My last use of Ronin. So 2D6s and 2D8s. All right. But the last one adds on. So.
We should at least have 3. Oh, there's only 1d8 left from using Ronin, or using home.
I'm gonna use them both. I'm gonna spend the plot point to use home, and then.
Okay.
So do I roll the home after as well?
Yeah, so you want to roll those two after because those get added in on top of it. Those are 2 plot points for those.
Got it. Okay, so this is the regular. That's an 8.
Nope.
And then D6 and a D8.
Yep.
22.
Wait, you did it?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Nice.
Yeah, so I'm like, seriously, there's nothing you should be afraid of. Look, I think you can use a good family dinner.
She like squints her eyes slightly.
Which family are we eating?
I'm like, Ronan would be just so pleased to see you at dinner.
Oh God.
Okay, it's just dinner. Don't worry about Ronan. I'll keep him under control.
Yeah, and you can. He's the one who got you all beat up, right?
No. I did that to myself.
No. He's clearly responsible. You are not dumb enough to get yourself beat the fuck. He's involved somehow, and you're going to tell me all the juicy details.
Oh.
Well, I'm not going to tell you all the details. I'll give you the general overview.
Okay.
Okay, good enough.
Good place to kind of fade out there. And then, do we want to have, like, I don't know, maybe the proprietor and if you two want a tag scene at the end?
What, this guy who just told me to sacrifice a whole bunch of demons so he gets his powers back wants to tag scene with me at the end? That's what. Oh yeah, no, come,
Or
please.
someone
come.
I'm trying to
else.
think how he would help me with my insecure.
Round 2, let's go. Okay, get ready. I hope you're ready for another afraid and freaking status on.
Not sure if it should be with him or Adon.
Yeah.
I kind of need to apologize both.
Well, apologize to me in this scene. You can apologize to Ada when he wakes up.
Okay. So, you hear a knock at your door.
Come in. I go, come, and then my nose kicks. I'm like, in.
I do. Do you have a moment?
I have no choice. You're paying to be here.
Kind of slump in the chair across from you.
Is there something you would like to say, or Are you just here to randomly tell me to sacrifice my entire kind for you again?
I wanted to apologize.
You wanted to what?
Apologize.
I'm sorry, you want to what?
Are you not familiar with the term, or do you just
Not
want me to
really,
say it
no.
louder?
What do you mean by apologize? I don't. That's like you're sorry?
Yes, that is an apology. I regret asking you to do something that would harm your kind. Something that only theoretically could have worked. But that I wanted to do in the moment. Adon doing that for me was part of the sign that he was still motivated to help me, but also that I fear that it was his last chance for us to be together. You've seen us fight in the bar. You know that it hasn't been the same since I lost my magic. And that's something he's wanted so desperately to fix for me, that we both wanted to fix. And if we cannot, I fear it would be the last thing that he's done for me.
Really nice, and I'll give my reply.
What do you mean roll my dice?
I mean your
My stress?
yeah, stress. Because I'm
So
building
it's only a D12, so
That's not too bad. We'll just roll at 1 and everyone's happy.
there you go.
Like that. Perfect. I'm not a wizard, I swear to God.
Aren't you, Lloyd? Aren't you?
You and your gaming. Metagame the dice roller.
I roll my eyes and I go, I may have been slightly harsh about how I treat you and what you should do, and you don't actually have to leave. And apology accepted, and I apologize. No, I don't. That's a lie. No, I don't do that. That's no, I don't apologize. I don't apologize. But there are some things I feel Natasha would do, and one of Nastya would do, and one of the things I would like her to find a man who would look at her the same way Adon looks at you. If there's one thing I'd like for her to have. That man loves you to the point where he's willing to sacrifice himself for you. All so you can have a taste of something that other people live perfectly fine without. You're letting the fact that you have no powers and no strength to dictate your marriage and your joyfulness now. And that path only leads to ruin. I should know. I built ruins. If I were you, I would make some serious questions and take a serious look at the relationships I have around me. And I will definitely 100% not let them ruin me. You are a very smart and capable man, and I'm sure you can find a way to live without having to resort to magic. And Adon, for all of his terrible, terrible, terrible faults and flaws, all of which make him a terrible person, somehow managed to fall in love with you. And if he dies as that being his greatest sin, then there is no justice in this world. And I will challenge my Adon roll for this. And I will roll with my big-hearted
Such a softie.
I know. I'm like, ugh, shouldn't have picked that shit. And the big hunter is D12 is like my biggest stat. And boop. I think I got it.
I think you got it.
That goes into growth. Now lets it sort of fade out. So at this point, anybody who has challenged either a relationship or a value, what you can choose to do is you can rewrite it.
I'll rewrite it.
Yeah, if you rewrite it, it goes back to its normal normal die level. If you don't, it remains lowered. But if it's a value, another value goes up in its place. You keep the what it says the same. And if it is a relationship, it stays down, but that die goes into your growth pool.
So we doing the growth pool stuff now? Is that?
Yeah, we'll be able to do the growth pool. If you know what you want to keep. So if you challenge something, I said that may add something else to the growth pool. If you keep it low, if it's a relationship, otherwise a value, something will change. Yeah, if you know what you would like to take up, let me know.
For Wrath, it's all he cares about is his powers and nothing else. That hasn't changed. At least it was before we were partners. And for Adon, it's ask the gods to look for you, for someone to look at you the way Adon looks at Wrath.
Okay, so it sounds like you're keeping Wrath's lowered.
No, I changed it. It used to be we're equal partners, and now I'm like all I care is about his powers and nothing else.
It's all you worry about.
It's all you care about is your stupid powers.
I don't know if Lexa or Steve are changing anything.
Yeah, I rewrote both of mine. For
Cool.
the proprietor, he has my best interest at heart.
Aww.
We'll let him betray that next session.
Yeah!
And then for Adon, I can salvage our marriage if he is willing to accept me as I am.
And Lexa, did you alter some stuff?
I'm trying to think about what I should change with authority to. I'm still not ready to change fuck off you aren't my real dad.
What?
Not
After all I put you through today.
just a little bit more of a push.
Oh, I try so hard. It's so hard. Stepdaughters are the worst.
What should I change it to? Oh yeah, no, he's totally my dad now. This is fine.
Yeah, I love the proprietor. He's
Well, the thing is, it doesn't have to switch completely. It can just
Yeah.
You can take it change it in steps a little bit.
Yeah, I'll think about that one, I guess, over the
Okay.
week. But for authority, god damn it.
So the thing is, if you want to keep the fuck the police, people keep telling me what to do or how I should live my life. If you want to keep that down, another one of your values will go up in its place.
Yeah, I probably should up one of my D4s. So, when does karma, define karma again for value?
It's when you think that something is it's essentially the thing is justice.
Justice.
Is this thing that's happening because someone's deserved it? And to a large degree, you're dealing with something where the world isn't fair, because that's how you've got yours right now. That's when that would come in.
Let's up that to a D6 then.
Okay. Anybody know what they would like to raise up?
I have no growth. I need growth. Guys, challenge me more.
Fail.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing here with the stress and the growth, so I'm
Okay.
kind of just sitting there.
Okay,
If
so
you wanna
right.
look at my sheet.
Okay, so right now, what you want to do, you got rid of one of your stresses. You're injured.
Yeah.
And you put that in the growth pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what everyone will do right now is take your highest die in your stress, also add that to your growth pool,
Okay.
and then step down all of the other dice in the growth pool.
So afraid goes away completely, or is it just?
Well, so was it? It was the injured that you. So what'll happen is now the D10 will get added to the growth pool, and the afraid will turn into a D8.
Okay.
So at the end of a session, like when you got your growth pool, you add in the highest current stress, and then you step down all of your stress.
All right. So the insecure becomes a D6.
Mm-hmm. And so now, once you've got those, if you want to, like a new, I end up rolling, like, if you want to step up a trait of some sort, like a relationship, an extra location, or an ability, I roll whatever the new dice would be, plus D12 if it's an ability, D10 for a distinction, D8 for gear or locations, and a D6 for relationship or extras. And if you want to get a new one, there'll just be like the D4. Plus, you can also spend, if you can spend a die to add like a special effect to an ability.
So I can just spend a singular growth die to add an ability, add a special ability to my powers.
Well, yeah, to add a special effect, kind of like you're punting someone into another scene.
How many of these can I do? Can I just can I only level up one thing, or can I just be like, okay, I'm gonna spend 3?
I think we've been accumulating over a couple. So what happens is you make a roll, and then like we'll say the dice that you spend go away.
Yeah. But like, so could I be like, okay, I want to buy 2 things today, or can I only buy 1 thing?
You could do 2, depending on how many dice you got.
Yeah, because
you've got a bunch. Like your D4s, for example, a lot of times those are almost best used for like buying special effects and stuff.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll up my relationship with the proprietor. There you go. That's
What will it make his?
a D6.
Okay, so what I'll do is I got to roll basically 2d6 because it's a relationship, and then you would roll your growth pool. Oh, I got an 11.
All of my growth pool, or just
all of your growth pool?
I roll all of it.
Well, you talked about if raising up a couple things, so just
Yeah.
whatever portion of the growth pool you want to spend.
Yeah. We don't do a thing where you can kind of roll what you've got, and then we can take away the dice that you use to the 2 dice you use to create the total.
Oh, okay. Christ.
So the only way to raise values is by challenging them?
Yes. Because your values, the number of levels you have in your values will always remain the same.
Gotcha.
Like you can't get D12 all the way across.
Gotcha.
So what did I need?
You needed. I had an 11. So you could have used like 2 of your D10s for like the 9 and the 3.
Or I could use the 9 and the D8.
Oh, the D8, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you remove those 2, then you can raise the proprietor up 1.
Cool.
Guys, I want to raise my relationship.
I'll be focusing on you next time. I'm gonna put stress on you because you're like, no, I'm gonna spend a plot point, do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get all this, and then I'm gonna put an extra thing on here.
Let's take sick Pellis on him.
Yep.
Well, guys, it's because I'm a mini boss. I need to be hard. It's very important. It's very important to my character that I hard. I'm trying not to challenge other people a lot this game. I'm trying to be nice. It's why I don't get very stressed. That's
why we've got like the Guardians and such coming, so there'll be a lot more pushback.
Yeah,
kind of for everybody on those.
So, like, if I was gonna up my smartass to a D8 or likable to a D8, I would have to roll a D8 versus.
No, it would be you would roll your entire growth pool.
Mm-hmm.
So I would roll. That's one of your distinctions. So I would roll the D8 that you want to move it up to plus a D10.
Oh, you would always roll plus a D10?
Yeah. So because if it's a distinction, it's a D10. If it's an ability like a power, it's a D12. If it's a location, it's a D8, and if it's a relationship or extra, it's a D6. So basically, relationships or extras are the easiest things to get.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely want to add a special effect to one of my. I know I would have to go through the book again, but just so if I removed a D4, would that work?
Yeah, you can just spend the D4 and then.
Okay. Oh, I can. If I spend both my D4s, can I get 2?
Sure.
Nice.
And then I want to up my demon because it really shouldn't be a D4 at this point.
Okay, so it's a D4. So you're trying to move it to a D6.
Yes. So it's a
So I will roll the D12 plus a D6. So it's a 12 total.
So demon was like a hiss, like
A heritage,
yeah.
which counts as an ability.
Okay. Wait, it counts.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It counts as a distinction.
Okay.
I forgot that that's 1d10 plus 1d6. 7.
7. Roll. Okay. So am I getting rid of only the dice that I...
Yeah, just get rid of like probably your 2d8s.
Okay.
You still have to make a total with 2 die.
Yes, okay.
2 dice.
All right, so I think I'm gonna up my Demon's Ruin in. So do you roll 2d4 plus 6, or do you just roll 1d4 plus 6?
I would roll 1d. What is your Demon's Ruin in now?
2d4. Well,
Oh, so I would end up rolling 2d6, or I'm sorry, a d6 and a d8 because the location is a d8. So I just roll 1d6 plus 1d8. I have a total of an 8.
okay. And I roll. One d8 and 2d10, 3d10. Nope, didn't roll.
I said if you just want to type in your 3d10. For some reason, that die roller sometimes a pain.
I had to beat 8, so yeah, I would spend d10 and a d8 to do that.
Okay, so you want to remove those from your growth pool, and go ahead and bring that up to 2d6.
All right.
I want to really raise relationship with Adon.
What is it right now?
D8.
Okay, so up to a d10.
Yep.
I have 12 total.
I have a 13.
Yep, you got that.
D8 and D12. Which just leaves me with 1 D8 left, so I think I'm going to put that into another part of my tome. Another ability. Or another special effect on it.
I don't have any growth dice.
I was gonna say, you feeling left out in this?
I listen.
This orgy of growth.
Oh, I'm so annoyed. Look at you guys, all with your special abilities and your cleared dice.
We'll have the Guardians coming in to the inn next time. I'm gonna push
It's fine. It's fine. I'll just sit here and be lonely in the growth zone.
That's fine, proprietor. Next time Ronan disappears and does some stupid shit, I'll send you after him.
Good. I'll be like, I'll just walk in like, what are you doing? Smack, 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 smack. Let's go.
We're trying to figure out stuff early on, and Lloyd was like, "Well, if Pat's coming, I'm like, if he can't rely on you, he'll have to go out there and do it. We can go out there and do it."
I'll be like a really bratty stepdaughter next week. It's fine.
Yay. No, you don't have to be. You can be just. I mean, you're still grounded.
Well, cool session, folks. I do have to go though.
Cool.
Yeah, right.
Thank you all very much.
See you later.
I'll catch y'all later.
Bye all.
Bye.